Before you are moving to Florida in 2022, you should watch this video because in this video I'm going to break down the facts. What are the changes happened in this 2022 time in last few years in Florida? So Florida has been famous even before pandemic as a relocation town, retirement town. A lot of people buy a vacation condo, so famous in the snowbirds. But the biggest change happened in this time frame last 3 years was a lot of people moving which had a virtual job leverages, even though their job is not local to Florida, but the virtual job leverages. So those people also got added in a relocation in Florida. So things changed a lot in 2021 and 2022 times. So if you are planning to move in Florida, this video will give you a lot of black and white truth. So let's talk right now. This is Komal Acharya. I'm a local Florida realtor, so I help a lot of people who are relocating to Florida. In this last 3 years, we had a tons of hundreds of families which we help in a relocation to Florida. Florida has been a great state for a couple of reasons. If you are doing already research, though, you must be aware, I'm not going to repeat those things, but let's say summary wise, it's more about the taxes, very low taxes. It has no state tax, so a lot of benefits to the business owners. I've seen a lot of millionaires and billionaires also invest in Florida, have a primary home address, is a Floridian house, so that they can get a lot of benefits in Texas. That's primary reason we have seen the relocation happening in the past. The second, of course, is because of the work. That's very normal in any state. That would be the reason, where your job is, you got to go there. The third is the weather. So weather has been great in Florida. I know some people may not like the very hot and humid weather, then you don't even think about it if you hate that weather, because the Florida definitely has this feel of stickiness. So you may have humid weather anywhere you live. Even though you live in a beach town or you live in a suburb towns, you would have that humidity in the air. So if you are someone who hates the humidity, who hates the hot weather, then probably you should stay away from Florida. What do you guys say? Comment me below. Can you bear this hot weather, or you can? There are so many pros in Florida, so you would compromise basically about the weather. So those are a primary reasons people before were thinking about to move to Florida. But especially in pandemic time, the another thing was added is the cost of living. So because the Florida has a very good reasonable cost of living, the Florida became the one of the state where people chose to relocate, especially in pandemic. So biggest change happened in 2021 or 2022 especially. I can say there are 4 lakh individual moved to who relocated to Florida. So it's a big change. So there are almost 2% growth, population growth we have seen in last couple of years, and that's been very rare. As a prediction wise, also they predict 0.7% to 1% or sometimes maximum 1.2% population growth. So a lot of Floridians can agree with this. They don't like so many people are moving here, and it's getting more crowded and crowded. Comment me below, what do you guys think about it? If you are Floridian or you have lived in Florida, what you have seen a couple of years ago then and what is there right now, what is the biggest differences you feel? I have been living in Florida last, I think, 12 years. I do see changes in this 12 years too. So, the cities are getting overcrowded. You do feel the crowd, a population growth, even in a daily life. So the traffic is more now. The things are more almost every city is getting overcrowded. If you go in Miami, good luck. The traffic is so crazy there. So that kind of the change, definitely the year by year is increasing. In 2022, if you are moving, make sure you are ready for having that cosmopolitan feel in Florida. Even though you live in suburb, you do get more to live a city life. There are some towns on the west coast is more quieter. So do select the correct location if your goal is retirement or want to have a very quieter lifestyle, because every city or every area of Florida has a different feel. So find the correct professional like us, who knows the area pretty good and who can even evaluate like, which would be the great area to relocate. Another piece, if you are not aware about or if you're not following the news, then this is the main thing you should be aware. In 2022, the prices are different. So if you see even pre-pandemic prices, especially in general, if I talk about just the house, not just the house prices, even general costs of living, the groceries or gas, so those things also changed in this time. Inflation is all over, as we know. Even the house prices have increased in almost all states. But when you're relocating somewhere and you have some perception of, okay, we may get in X number very beautiful house there, but a lot of things change now. So for example, pre-pandemic, 500,000 would be the good number to start here with the single family house, a pool house, it's pretty good, nice, you can get. But now it's kind of questionable. In the area to area, the prices have, the median average price have increased. We help so many relocation clients. So sometimes because of the price, we have to choose a different area. The good part in Florida is not every area would have the that same price point. Sometimes you may have to compromise the travel and you may get in that X amount of your budget in that price point, but in different area. So for example, our Broward County is getting the prices are more higher. Miami-Dade County has a lot higher than that, so almost 34% prices have increased. If you go in Tampa, the prices have increased almost 32%. So you do see the average pricing is totally different number than you must have seen a few years ago. So in this case, we are advising some other counties like a Palm Beach County. We have seen a lot of relocation, but comparatively the prices are not that higher than the Broward or Miami-Dade County. So that kind of always there's a solution, but you do have to have aware about the realistic expectations when you are moving to Florida, that what kind of prices you would see here. Another piece I'll tell you about the new construction. A lot of people like to have a new construction to start with, right? So South Florida market, especially close to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, those areas are very low in the new constructions. So if you're expecting to have a very brand new houses, it's kind of difficult. You may find the remodel house, like the investors do remodeling, like it's the house build is pretty old, but they do remodel because this South Florida it's pretty old. The existence of the town, like South Florida cities have the pretty old existence history. If you go further in Central Florida, that's why the Tampa become very famous, or Orlando become very famous for the relocation clients, because they love having the more newer houses. So that's more newer houses. Further north you go, Jacksonville, that's also has some of the newer house feel. So it depends on the area. So do have the realistic expectation for the house built, especially. And one more thing I'll add, if you let's say like to have a condo lifestyle, make sure you have a realistic expectation for the HOA prices, which is homeowner associations, which is everywhere in Florida. When do you find single family house or even condo townhouse, most of them are with the HOA. Only few towns you have which are like older existence, like either the house built is very old and they are with no HOA. So make that, like keep that as a clarity. And another change, biggest change happened in condo market, especially when we saw the Surf Miami collapse, Surfside collapse for the condo. This year the condos are very, very strict. So homeowners are literally, they have to contribute to with the homeowner association to repair. So if you're buying a very old condo, think twice, and or have the good professionals who can evaluate for you, because every condo, just the price, what you see, it's not the only thing you need to look at it. There are assessment fees, there are some extra fees of the repairs. For the repairs is being added basically, so those things are not displayed in the public websites like Zillow or even on MLS. Sometimes they do not disclose there. So we do have to get more deeper information to understand the actual cost of that particular condo. So if you're buying something in a condo market, then make sure you're aware about. Before 2021, it wasn't that like this kind of very strict. The city were not into the fines and liens, but right now they are very much strict. 40-year recertification, and they are going going through a lot of remodeling even. You see the beautiful pictures of the condo, but the actual buildings, they are going through all under renovation. So which is a good news actually. So all the older condos are getting renovated and getting the new face. And another piece I will highlight in Florida is political debates. So Florida has very, both kind of view. A lot of people are very public, has a very public view. You will see a diverse population here. Our mayor Ron DeSantis, like a lot of people don't like him. There are a couple of reasons he don't like the main government. So it's kind of, it does impact the economy and the speeches. Of course, the elections are depends on the economy. So those things also get aware about. After the Democratic came in the central, those changes also I have seen publicly happening. Like he's a great mayor. Just recently he put the bill for the first responders, the first responder heroes. So he does help overall economy. Definitely, it's a great great city for a great state. A lot of freedom you will have. For example, in a COVID time, we never had actual lockdown. So some people like it, some people don't like it. It wasn't like California. It's a lot of Californian loved here because there's so much freedom, not only just having no mask or mask. I'm not talking about only this, but even in the schools also they had a lot of, the things were going in a pandemic about the debates for the mask and all. Here they found a lot of freedom. So they found a little easier. Again, it's a personal opinion. You can come at me here. I would love to have a discussion on this about the political. I don't have a personal interest towards that, but I do read in the news and what do you feel, in the surroundings. That's what I'm kind of giving you view. But comment me below if you are a Floridian and what you feel about the political side of our state and where it is heading to. Give me your opinion. And one more thing got changed in 2022, some extra expenses. For example, the insurance. The property insurance has a big hike in 2021. It started and still there in 2022. So there are a couple of reasons because of that. Not only because so much buy and sell was happening, but also there are a lot of scams were happening from the roofers. They were motivating the homeowners to change the roof because of the small even hurricane or storm. It's not even hurricane because of the storm. People can claim and they change the roof. So a lot of companies were going bankrupt, insurance companies. So whichever companies survived or they were changing the states, they were not even serving the Florida. So hard to get the quotes. So if you're buying here, be prepared for seeing those big numbers, especially right now. So you do have to shop around. Not necessarily one provider will give you the best numbers. So I always advise my clients and we do shop around for them, like 4 or 5 different companies to get the best one. But that thing surprises a lot of people who are relocating here. Like, oh my God, your property insurances are so high. Is this the normal numbers? But yes, that's the truth. And it wasn't like this before then 2020. But now I've seen in this 2 years, it's a big change happened. So I have a lot of other videos where I'm talking about the best places to live, best county to live. So watch out those videos. And thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you in my next video.